Thorfinn Karlsefni, the main protagonist of Vinland Saga, stands as one of the most emotionally complex and transformative characters in anime history. His journey is not merely that of a warrior seeking vengeance, but of a boy growing up in a cruel world, losing everything, and finding meaning again through peace and redemption. He represents the very essence of humanity, torn between the desire to destroy and the longing to be free. Born in Iceland during the violent Viking Age, Thorfinn grew up in a family that valued honor, compassion, and peace. His father, Thor Snorreson, once known as the Troll of Jom, was a powerful warrior who abandoned the life of bloodshed to protect his family from the endless wars of the North. Thorfinn admired him deeply and learned early that true strength wasn't found in the sword, but in the courage to protect without hatred. In their small, coastal village, surrounded by cold winds and endless sea, Thorfinn's world was safe and idealistic, a place untouched by the brutalities of Viking life. That innocence shattered the day his father was killed, when Askeladd, a cunning and manipulative mercenary, ambushed and murdered Thor's. The young boy's entire world collapsed. Watching his father die to save him ignited a rage so deep that it consumed his very soul. From that moment on, Thorfinn's life became a weapon forged in grief and vengeance. He swore to kill Askeladd in a fair duel, believing that revenge would bring justice and closure. He joined Askeladd's band not out of loyalty, but hatred, fighting battles, raiding villages, and killing men, all while waiting for his chance at revenge. Each duel he challenged Askeladd to end it in failure, deepening his obsession. Over time, Thorfinn became one of the deadliest warriors in the group, cold, efficient, and silent. His childhood was lost to war. His innocence was buried beneath the corpses of countless enemies. Yet behind that hardened mask was a boy who could no longer remember why he fought, only that he must keep fighting. The world Thorfinn grew up in glorified conquest and slaughter. The Viking Age valued strength above all. To die in battle was the greatest honor, and mercy was seen as weakness. Against this culture, Thorfinn's eventual transformation stands as a rebellion. His life was shaped by violence, but his destiny became the rejection of it. He was both a product of his world and the one who would rise above it. Thorfinn's motivation began as revenge. Every action, every breath, every kill, all of it was driven by hatred. But when Askeladd was finally killed, not by Thorfinn's blade, but by someone else's, the purpose that kept him alive disappeared. He was left empty, lost, and broken. Without revenge, there was no meaning. His entire identity had revolved around hatred, and now that it was gone, he faced the terrifying question of who he truly was. That loss became the catalyst for his rebirth. Over time, Thorfinn's motivation shifted from vengeance to redemption, a desire to atone for the lives he had taken, to rebuild what he had destroyed, and to live according to his father's ideals. He sought peace, not for glory, but to cleanse his soul of the darkness that had defined him. His dream of Vinland, a land free from war, slavery, and pain, became the new flame that guided him forward. Thorfinn's personality is a reflection of his internal battle. As a child, he was brave and curious. As a warrior, he was stoic and ruthless. But deep inside, he was always kind, that kindness buried under years of anger and loss. His trauma made him emotionally distant, but it also gave him a deep understanding of human suffering. When he later becomes a slave and meets Einar, another man broken by violence, Thorfinn begins to rediscover his humanity. He learns to empathize again, to forgive himself, and to dream of a life without killing. His evolution from a weapon to a thinker marks one of the most profound character arcs in anime. Thorfinn's intelligence, resilience, and compassion grow stronger than any physical power. He realizes that true strength is not in taking life, but in valuing it. His past remains a scar, but it becomes the source of his wisdom. He is brave enough to face himself, and that courage surpasses the fear of any enemy. I end the story. Thorfinn serves as both the hero and the mirror of humanity's struggle. His early years represent mankind's thirst for power and revenge. His later years symbolize the possibility of change and forgiveness. Through his transformation, Vinland Saga evolves from a tale of warriors to a meditation on what it means to live. Every major event, from Thor's death to Thorfinn's enslavement and eventual freedom, centers around his moral awakening. He becomes the living embodiment of a series message that peace is harder to achieve than war, yet infinitely more meaningful. Thorfinn's fighting style also reflects his inner evolution. In his youth, he fought with twin daggers, fast, sharp, and merciless, a fighting style born of anger and survival. Each strike was personal, intimate, and efficient, mirroring his pain and precision. Later, when he renounces violence, he abandons his weapons entirely. His refusal to fight becomes his greatest strength, symbolizing control and moral clarity. In a world of endless war, Thorfinn's decision to lay down his arms is the most revolutionary act imaginable. Relationships shape Thorfinn's journey as much as his battles. His father, Thor's, remains the moral compass that guides him even after death. Askeladd, though his enemy, serves as a dark mentor, teaching Thorfinn the cruelty of the world and indirectly pushing him toward self-awareness. Einar, his friend and companion in slavery, becomes the light that helps him remember his humanity. Through Einar, Thorfinn learns that life has value beyond vengeance. And Leif Erikson, the explorer, represents hope, the reminder that dreams can exist even in a world drenched in blood. The conflicts Thorfinn faces are both external and internal. Externally, he battles the endless violence of his world, wars, raiders, and the harshness of life itself. Internally, he fights guilt, grief, and self-hatred. His greatest struggle is not against men, but against the version of himself he once was. Overcoming that darkness is his true victory. His transformation from a boy driven by hatred to a man guided by peace is one of the most powerful in storytelling. Through reflection, pain, and forgiveness, Thorfinn learns that strength lies not in revenge, but in restraint. Symbolically, Thorfinn represents the possibility of human change. He is proof that even the most broken souls can heal, that even those who've spilled blood can find redemption. In a story dominated by warriors, he becomes the man who dares to reject war. His dream of Vinland, a place free from slavery, hatred, and death, becomes a metaphor for hope itself, a vision of what humanity could become if it let go of violence. Through him, Vinland Saga poses a haunting question. Can mankind ever be free from the chains of its own cruelty? By the end of his journey, Thorfinn's legacy is one of peace, forgiveness, and rebirth. The boy who once sought revenge becomes a man who builds rather than destroys. His life, filled with suffering and redemption, stands as a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Thorfinn proves that no matter how far one has fallen, there is always a way back, and that peace, though fragile, is the truest form of power. Thorfinn Karlsefni is not simply a character in a story about Vikings. He is a reflection of humanity itself, our rage, our grief, and our capacity to change. His evolution from a weapon of vengeance to a builder of peace remains one of the most compelling arcs in anime. He is the warrior who rejected war, the killer who chose life, and a lost child who found his way home through forgiveness.